Good evening, you're watching a brand new week of Left, Right and Centre. I'm Nidhi Razdan. Tonight, the big political story. The government reveals the names of 8 people in the Supreme Court as holders of black money accounts abroad. But there are no big names or politicians in that list. Are these revelations a damp squib at the end of the day? Will we ever know the names of the big fish who have illegal accounts abroad? That's going to be our big focus tonight on a day when the NDA government revealed the names of 8 people before the Supreme Court for allegedly holding black money accounts abroad. 5 of these people belong to the same company. But the names are not exactly earth-shattering, with no big guns among them. In fact, one of them, Pradeep Burman of the Dabur Group, was already under investigation by the previous government and has even paid a 7 crore rupee penalty. The government says more names are coming.
Those who allegedly have black money. According to the government, which submitted its affidavit in the Supreme Court today, the 8 people alleged to have parked money illegally in foreign accounts are Pradeep Burman of the Dabur Group, Pankaj Chimanlal Lodhia, a Saurashtra businessman dealing in bullion and real estate, and Timblo Private Limited. Its directors Radha Satish Timblo, Chetan Timblo, Roshan Timblo, Anna Timblo and Malika Timblo named in the list. The denial came almost immediately. The Dabur Group said Pradeep Burman opened an account legally as an NRI and has followed the law.
Whatever जो भी है हमने ऑलरेडी डिक्लेयर करके हमारा सब डिक्लेयर किया हुआ है सब पूरा. आज अभी आप बता रहे तो मुझे मालूम पड़ रहा है कि ये है सब.
But is this it? Where are the other big names that have been hinted about? Is this just the beginning? Sources have told NDTV that former UPA ministers are under the IT scanner. 4 Congress names are under investigation, which include an ex-UPA Minister of State rank, 2 members of a Maharashtra political family, and 1 former Congress MP from Uttar Pradesh. Former Congress Minister Preneet Kaur, whose name has been reported in the black money case, denied the allegations. She told NDTV that she had received an IT notice in 2011 regarding an alleged foreign account in her name. She strongly denied the allegation of holding a foreign account. She said she has no account in any overseas bank in her name.
Very disappointed by the statement of Mr. Arun Jaitley, the Finance Minister of Government of India, and an eminent lawyer who made this mischievous remark, I repeat, mischievous remark, of saying that if he reveal the names, it will embarrass the Congress party. If he has the guts, he should reveal those names. We are not embarrassed at all.
बिना सरकार के मदद वो तो संभव नहीं है. जरूर जांच करना पड़ेगा. इसका मूल जड़ में जाना पड़ेगा.
The top court will consider NDA government's request that it can't reveal all the names as directed by the court, but only those against whom cases have been filed, thus fulfilling the international treaties. With Sunitra Chowdhury in New Delhi, this is Arunachalam Vaidyanathan, NDTV.
Well, the question is whether these revelations that we saw today are at the end of the day a damp squib. That's the question we're asking tonight on Left, Right and Centre. And joining us this evening, Sambit Patra, spokesperson of the BJP, Ajay Kumar, spokesperson of the Congress Party, Sunil Kanoria, president-elect of ASSOCHAM, and he's here tonight because ASSOCHAM has issued a statement saying that the names of black money account holders should not be disclosed. So they're going to explain why they think that's a problem. Senior journalist Aarti Jairath here in the studio with us, and Prashant Bhushan, spokesperson for the Aam Aadmi Party and senior advocate of the Supreme Court, also here with us tonight. Sambit Patra, to you first. It doesn't exactly come across as a big revelation or something earth-shattering, as I said in my introduction as well. I mean, at the end of the day, when you look at these names given to the Supreme Court, big deal. You have one of them who has already paid a penalty, who was already prosecuted under the earlier regime and has paid 7 crores for that. And they frankly seem to be low-hanging fruit. Mr. Patra.
No, Nidhi, one has to keep in mind that the process has begun. I mean, few days back, Congress was questioning us about our intention. But look, the government has already started declaring the names. In fact, all the names are with the SIT, which is under the Supreme Court. 3 names have been made public because evidences have been gathered against them and charge sheet is in the process of being filed. So I believe if anyone questions as to why only 3 names have been declared, I would say that in a very short span of time, this government could complete investigations which the previous dispensation was dilly-dallying upon. Now the Congress since the morning has been asking, you have not embarrassed embarrassed us. I would assure Congress on your panel today that please don't worry, have some patience. We'll embrace you also. In the future, we'll see to it that you are nailed. And if still they maintain that they want to know the name of the Congress people who are involved with stashing black money abroad, then I would say that all those people who have been served IT notice, who belong to Congress, should in fact suo moto come up and say that we are the ones who have our black money abroad.
No, but
it would be absolutely clear.
Somebody like Mr. Burman has, action was already initiated against him earlier under UPA 2. He's paid a 7 crore penalty. So what's new?
No. He may have paid some amount of fine and all, that's a separate issue. But that a charge sheet is being about to be filed only points to the fact that enough evidence must have been gathered by the investigative agencies. And that's the result as to why prosecution is proceeding against these 3 people. So this is just the beginning of the declaration of the whole chunk of name. Mr. Arun Jaitley had categorically stated that we do not want to hide a single name. All the names would be declared in due procedure of law. And very important point I want to raise over here, Nidhi, in your channel, to an interview, Mr. Chidambaram only recently had said, on being asked whether you have gone through the list of the black money holders when you were the finance minister, his answer was a negation. I did not feel like seeing the list. My question is, the Congress today claims that their intention was to bring back the black money. How do they prove it? The finance minister of the country, having the list in front of him, does not go through the list, and he says that he was serious in bringing back the black money.
But you've taken the exact same position that they did in court. You've taken the exact same position. You have said that because of the double taxation agreements, you can only make the names public once there is prosecutable evidence against those who are named. I mean, Mr. Jaitley has said that on record. The previous government said the same thing. Let me bring in Prashant Bhushan here. Mr. Bhushan, there seems to be a sense today that, we're not ever going to know who the big names are on these lists. I mean, I know that there is a list of names that the AAP has listed out today, but, I don't want to get into that because, those people need to respond and we need evidence to back that up. But just based on what you've seen the government revealed today, what does it appear to do to you that's really happening here?
Well, it appears that this government to a very large extent is going down the same path which the UPA government did. The UPA government also gave a false plea to the Supreme Court that they cannot disclose these names because of the double taxation treaty with Germany. And the Supreme Court considered this defense of the government at great length and rejected it totally. They said that firstly, these names do not pertain to any accounts held in Germany. This information is from Liechtenstein. This was got by Germany by some means and offered to various governments, including India. Secondly, they said that the German government has nowhere told the Indian government that they should not reveal these accounts, etc. And therefore, the Supreme Court ordered them to disclose the names of these account holders. Now, the same kind of plea is again being set up by the NDA government to avoid disclosing the names. They are saying that, look, if you disclose names of legal account holders, that will account to a breach of the double taxation agreement as well as breach of privacy. Now, privacy is a minor. Supreme Court has held that the right to privacy is overridden by other more important rights that the citizens of this country have. The citizens of this country have a fundamental right to information. They have a fundamental right to be free from corruption. There is a huge problem of corruption by which this corrupt money is being secreted away in foreign banks, then laundered and then reinvested back in India, etc. And that is why the Supreme Court took up this case with great seriousness and alacrity and said that you must disclose these names. Therefore, and the Supreme Court's order in any case overrides any double taxation agreement.
You're saying the position is exactly the same. Sambit Patra, that is exactly what I said as well, that essentially what in effect the NDA government has told the Supreme Court is no different from what the UPA did. And seeing the names today, frankly, it just seemed that you were keen to come out with something because of all the political pressure that was there on the BJP-led government to show that yes, we are doing something on the issue of black money.
Nidhi, 2 points have to be reminded over here. First and foremost, if you remember, the UPA dispensation, upon being asked by the Supreme Court, had disclosed approximately 18 names in an envelope and had handed over, as per the advice of Supreme Court, to the petitioner, that is Ram Jethmalani, who thereafter had made the names public. But this was not taken well. In fact, it was taken as an offense by Germany. And Germany had written a letter to India this August itself, stating that if this be the state of action in India, then we are not going to supply you with any further names of black money holders. So my question to all those who are in fact generating a lot of brouhaha about all this, that why do you want that the source of information should dry? There is a letter written by Germany as far as this is concerned.
But
Secondly,
the UK made the same argument.
Just a second.
You attacked them.
Just a second.
So are you caught in your own rhetoric? Your own election rhetoric is coming back to haunt you.
All this happened in August 2014, the letter by Germany. So this is very important, and we want that all the information should come from Germany. Second and very important legal point that Mr. Prashant Bhushan was raising, as far as Supreme Court saying that, well, yes, you can keep the DTAA treaty aside and you can declare the names. Let me clarify that August this year itself, the government has asked for 3 clarifications from the Supreme Court. Number one, that if the treaty is to be kept aside, as you have suggested, then why did you not in fact disallow the government from signing a treaty to this effect when it was signed? Secondly, the privacy clause clarification has also been asked. Now the Supreme Court has agreed that, well, yes, we will hear to these clarifications and we will clarify your doubts. So let us wait till the Supreme Court clarifies these doubts.
My point is, Sambit Patra, that everything that you attack the UPA for today is what you're doing. I mean, these are the same arguments that the UPA had.
No, Nidhi,
however,
there is basic difference.
Ajay Kumar, the question to the Congress then is that, look, it appears that the BJP is certainly being more active on this issue, because that SIT was announced some years earlier. The UPA government sat on it. The moment the Modi government came to power, at least the SIT was constituted and they're moving ahead on the issue. And this may be a small a beginning, that's not so much of a big bang, but it's a beginning nonetheless. Ajay Kumar.
See, first of all, Nidhi, you know, Sambit it's been the BJP's habit to continuously say lies. First of all, let's go to the facts that the list of 800 names came during Mr. Chidambaram's time. The UPA government gave the list to the Supreme Court and to Mr. Ram Jethmalani. The SIT was formed because the Supreme Court gave an order on 1st of May, and there was no other choice for the BJP government to form it. But I want you to tell you that what's parallelly happening is political points being scored. You see, the BJP keeps saying that they will not be embarrassed. I'm quite sure that a lot of people in the BJP related organizations will also be embarrassed. But the issue is not that. The issue is systematic leakage. Suppose you want to defame somebody, like even take an example of Praneet Kaur. 2011 she gets a notice, you leak it at the same time when you're saying the foreign bank accounts have been released. So we have been holding a very simple thing. If there is any congressman who is guilty or congresswoman, please take action according to the law. Please reveal all the 800 names to the SIT. And I think Mr. Patra is wrong in saying that the list has been given to the SIT. I am not
list
sure
has
even
been
about
given
the
to
Germany
the SIT
vote, right?
on 27/6/2014.
No, one second. Let me correct you, Sambit, because there is a letter from Mr. Ram Jethmalani saying that the list has not been given. So I don't know where you all stand on that.
Ram Jethmalani, you don't have to go by the letter of Mr. Ram Jethmalani. The list has been given.
Mr. Patra, let me complete. No, I'm not. Let me complete. The problem is, if you see even in the WhatsApp, in the social media, you find forged letters from the ministry, Swiss government, saying these are the list of people. So the BJP system, whether it's Mr. Venkaiah Naidu, all these people want to create an atmosphere and then run away from it. My simple question to the BJP is, you went to the people of this country and said you will bring back the black money. It turns out to be 15 lakhs per person. Please bring that money. Secondly, don't keep blaming us. We accept that we lost the elections. Now, you know, you please get the money back and reveal all the 800 names, and I believe me, you will be embarrassed when you start finding the details about all those people.
Okay, so one second, gentlemen, let me just get Aarti, Aarti to comment on this. That let's talk about the selective leaks. Do you believe it's selective leaking that's going on here? Why these 3 entities today, 8 names in all, 8 people in all 3 entities? Why them? Why not anybody else?
No, and that's actually the question that needs to be asked. They have a list of 800 names. They are supposed to be conducting investigations against all 800 and then decide who is guilty and who is not, who is prosecutable and who is not.
You could say
right?
it better than me. Yeah,
prosecutable. So, if you have a list of 800 names and there are some politicians on it, some big guys, shouldn't you go after the big fish first? Shouldn't you be chasing the political parties or rather the politicians whose names are on that list? Why are you picking up people whose companies are not really well known here? I mean, they may be big companies, but we don't know about them. And that's the question that needs to be asked, that why did they pick up these three first? Why did they not go after the Congress leaders that they talk about?
Nidhi, I want to answer that.
That's right. Why, Sambit? Tell us why.
Yes, I want to really answer that. Aarti.
Yeah, please.
I believe, I mean, the kind of discussion we are having, why these three names, the company's name also are not known to us, adds to the fact that we wanted some glamorization to the name. It seems that if we had a glamorous name, that would have been more important for debate than having
Sambit, not at all. We want you to go after the big fish.
Ma'am,
yeah,
I was not interrupting.
Sorry.
It appears just as if glamorous names should have been declared, some hot potatoes must have been dropped, then the debate would have had spice attached to it. Names of companies which are not known to ordinary people do not matter much, but I believe the money matters and that's what the government takes into view.
Okay, Sambit, can we now say something? Now you've had your chance?
Yes,
we're not talking about glamorous names or hot potatoes, please. We're just saying that go after the big guys. If you have big names, if you have the names of Congress leaders, which you've said you do, then why aren't you going after them first?
Yes, let me answer that.
Nidhi,
yes, I assure you, Aarti, I assure you that we have big names. Though I would not preempt the names, I am not privy to the list, but I assure you, by the way the UPA has functioned, that big names would surely be declared very soon, and the Congress would be put on a back foot, because that's what they want badly, it seems. They want the names to come
Ajay Kumar, quick response, then I want to come to Mr. Kanoria as well.
Interview on NDTV itself, Mr. Chidambaram, when asked by Barkha, just a second, when Mr. Chidambaram was asked by Barkha, well, whether if a congressman's name props up, it will be a liability of the Congress party, or would it be a liability of the Congress minister? You remember how categorically Mr. Chidambaram had wide that question and had said that it would be a liability for the person, not of the Congress party, meaning well that he knows that there are people from the Congress whose names are in the list. Or else he could have said there is no congressman in the list.
One sec.
Yes, Ajay Kumar, quickly.
First question, Nidhi.
Yeah.
First question is, I would tell Mr. Patra, let's have decent discussion. Mr. Chidambaram, when he says he didn't see the list,
why taking
was very honest
is not
in saying,
indecent?
one sec, let me complete here. When he said he didn't see the list, he was honest to the fact he didn't see because he wanted the investigation to be unhampered. You are sensationalizing, when Mr. Jaitley says that there may be or may not be, you are sensationalizing it. Again, when Mr. Venkaiah Naidu says that how did the money go out, and I'm saying, if there's an honest investigation, maybe the BJP's sister organization leaders will be involved. So let's not, why don't you give all the 800 names?
How do you know sister organizations will be involved? Have you seen the list?
Maybe, and how do you know? And how do you know?
Because the finance minister is saying who is privy to the list. Because I believe the finance minister is supposed to see the list. But ironically, your finance minister did not see the list.
Okay, one second, gentlemen, there is another aspect to this story I want to come to before I come to ASSOCHAM and widen this debate, and I'll take this to Mr. Prashant Bhushan first. Mr. Bhushan, we have statistics from the ADR tonight, which, as you know, does a lot of work on the kind of candidates, backgrounds, money that goes into elections. And they have revealed tonight that Timlo Private, which is one of the three entities named in the Supreme Court today, donated money 9 times to the BJP amounting to 1.18 crores and thrice to the Indian National Congress amounting to a total of 65 lakhs in a period of 7 years. Now, this is actually quite incredible that both the BJP and the Congress then got donations from a company that today the government says in the Supreme Court has black money abroad. What does that tell you, about this story, Mr. Bhushan?
Yes, and that's the real reason, it appears, why both governments have been reluctant to reveal the names of the big fish, so to say. This Timlo has donated some 1 point some crores and 65 lakhs, etc. There would be others who have donated much more, and there would be those who have donated much more under the table. that is not legal donations. ADR is able to track only the legal donations which are given over the table. But a lot more is coming under the table, and many of these people who are named as those account holders would be people who have donated big money to these parties, including this present BJP government. If you see the revelation that we had made 2 years ago in a press conference, we had revealed the names of 15 people, which included some very big fish, including the Ambani brothers, etc. Now, some 3 of those, we had released the statements made by 3 of those people.
That is the only argument.
Yes, it was backed up by evidence.
Your evidence.
3 people, we had released the statements of 3 of those people who had admitted to having those accounts and who had also pointed out that these accounts had grown because of through Hawala channels, which was facilitated by that HSBC bank itself.
No, so let me get a quick reaction from the parties.
That bank itself was doing Hawala.
No, so Sambit Patra, what an embarrassment. I mean, a company that today your government says has black money abroad donated 9 times to the BJP and 3 times to the Congress, to both the national parties.
2 things. First and foremost, Mr. Prashant Bhushan says that this is the reason as to why there is reluctance in declaring the name. Ironically, the first batch of names that crop up comes up with the name of Mr. Timblu, the Timblu family. And you say that there is reluctance of declaring the name. This only shows that this government, the present dispensation, shows no favoritism. Even if you may have legally donated to us, but we will not spare you if you have done anything wrong. This is the way a government should function. As you all would agree that whatever donation was given to us was accounted for, was paid for as a receipt, and was an over-the-table donation, as Mr. Prashant Bhushan himself was agreeing. Secondly, as far as the Aam Aadmi Party's list is concerned, let me remind Mr. Prashant Bhushan very respectfully that the Aam Aadmi Party's method of alleging loudly and apologizing very softly, we have seen in case of Mr. Nitin Gadkari case. So we do not take their list from which bank they have procured. No one
Ajay
knows.
Kumar, frankly, I mean, there seems to be a bigger problem of, election funding, how political parties are funded. All the main political parties have opposed revealing where all their money comes from, where their political donations come from. Maybe this is a test case. I mean, who knew that this company was donating to your party?
Nidhi, I agree with Prashant on one aspect, is that the Timbalos, Sambit might take a moral position and all, the Timbalos are the small fish. You reveal all the 800 names, like Aarti has correctly said. Let all the 800 names and all the connections to all the political parties, put it on black and white and see what is it.
So why didn't you bring them out then?
No, but one sec. They went to the people, we brought the 800 people's list. Now, Nidhi, we agree that...
800 people list?
Yeah, the list was brought during Mr.
No. Don't mislead. Nidhi, I need to answer.
No, one second, Ajay Kumar, the point is, you cannot expect the BJP to do the complete opposite of what, you didn't do it. If you had those 800 names, why didn't you reveal them? You say that you were constrained by those treaties. They are saying the same thing. You can't attack them on that principle.
No, but one second. So we went to the Supreme Court and we said that we are handicapped by these treaties. The list of 26 names, according to Mr. Patra also will stand witness, was given to Mr. Jethmalani. And those list names were leaked. But the important part is Mr. Patra believes that suddenly in 100 days, the BJP's, superhuman achievement of investigation gets over. Mr. Burman's investigation, income tax investigation, Mr. Patra takes years. Same thing with the 800, it takes years. Suddenly everything seems to be this 100 days, they have done a great job.
Gentlemen, let me get ASSOCHAM into this. Let me get Mr. Sunil Kanodia into this, because this is a very important aspect of this debate as well. Mr. Kanodia, ASSOCHAM has said in a statement that the government should have a sensible approach of respecting these double taxation agreements, basically saying that also saying at the end that if names are placed in public domain, then those names finally do, and if they don't get convicted, there will be immense damage to their reputation. Basically, you are saying go ahead with this cautiously. Can you explain your stand? Is ASSOCHAM saying that don't even reveal the names of those who are being prosecuted?
No, we are not saying that at all. What we are basically saying is that we should not sensationalize or politicize this entire issue of black money. The guilty must be punished. We need to bring in the black money into the country because it will bring in prosperity and development for the country. We need to bring back what last 40-50 years of regulations, rules have made people to do. But we cannot hang a person if he has done something legitimately under the law. And that is where what is happening is, without getting to the checks and details, you are destroying the reputation of groups and people when you do not have, if you do not have the legitimate
proof,
the rationale and the proof that he has done something wrong. You cannot punish a person if he has not done something wrong and if he has followed the rules. That is what we are saying.